Now that we've talked about how to build this great community on Twitter, here are some best practices for managing the community and making sure your followers stay with you. Be sure to develop an authentic, consistent brand voice. Communities appreciate honesty and authenticity, and so we'll dive deeper in how to find and define your voice in a couple of slides. As mentioned previously, responsiveness is key. Your followers should know that you care about their comments and that you're not only there to promote your own business objectives, that you're there to care about what they want and service their needs. Plus, the more that you engage with your followers, the more they feel appreciated and compelled to continue participating. Due to Twitter's real-time nature, the customer response rate is expected to be much quicker and almost immediate as compared to other platforms. Number 3, adapt the 80-20 rule. That means 80% of your content should actually be in service and valuable to your customers, and 20% should be pushing brand objectives or promotions. This doesn't mean that 80% of your content shouldn't still be tied to your brand's values, but it should still be very customer-centric. Number 4, use explicit CTAs to inspire action and conversion. This could be as simple as inspiring your audience to learn more about your company by clicking to your website or clicking to blog post content or watching a video, but just make sure that you explicitly tell them to do so and they're more likely to engage. Number 5, consider having recurring post topics or a series of posts, which means that fans and followers will have something to look forward to on a regular basis and continue to engage with your brand regularly. Especially with customer service, it might be a good idea to use personal identifiers such as your name or an initial, so it can help humanize your brand and know that somebody is actually behind the computer helping to work them through their problems and service their needs. Lastly, pay attention to what content is resonating with your audiences. You can use Twitter Insights and Analytics, more on that later, to understand what's really resonating with your audience, what they're engaging with, what topics they enjoy. So basically, you can provide value to your followers by continuing to provide more of the same that they're interested in and not just be in service of your business. Before you can add more Twitter accounts to your device, those accounts must exist already on Twitter. For each Twitter profile that you want to be able to use, you will need a unique email address, as well as a unique telephone number for verification. Refer back to the Setup and Customization Fundamental Asset slide for details on how to set up the new account. On desktop, you'll have to sign out of your existing account to create a new one, and then use a third-party tool like TweetDeck to manage multiple accounts. On mobile, however, you can manage multiple accounts with the official Twitter app. While logged in on the app, click on your profile photo, then click the ellipses to expand the account options. You should now see the options to either create a new account or add an existing account. Select which one, and then after you set up the new account or enter the existing account's credentials, you will see the alternate profile listed under the previously logged in account. Moving forward, this is how you'll be able to toggle between accounts. For every Twitter account, it's important to curate who you follow to reflect your brand's interest and following strategy. Who you follow has a halo on who becomes aware of your profile via Twitter's who to follow algorithm and who eventually follows you back. You should follow brands and people that are aligned with your brand's values and whom your customers and target audience care about. Twitter lists offer a great way to organize and curate feeds and make it easier to digest the content that matters to you. You can create lists organized by theme or topic, i.e. news, influencers, industry, brands, customers, community, etc. Create a private list of competitors, or subscribe to other users' lists to find and engage with influencers and others with relevant interests. When crafting tweets, the intended audience is just as important as the message itself. Your tweets will have a much greater impact if you focus on having the right message for the right person at the right time. Doing so increases engagement because the message will be more relevant to the target audience, and ultimately, you can position your brand as an influencer in your category. So now we're going to talk about finding your voice. Having a definitive editorial line on Twitter is just as important in order to be consistent across your entire timeline. Just as you would do for any campaign, try to identify your editorial line by answering some of these questions. Who are you writing for? Where are these people going to read your content and in what environment? When will they read it? What's my brand's tone of voice? What's my brand's core message? And what are our values and personality? Defining these points and sticking with them as best as you can will help define what you tweet, retweet, like, and any other content you create or interact with on the platform. So let's get into editorial strategy. If you craft a content calendar based on your brand's most significant moments, like product launches, new partnerships, special events, and etc., you can review also cultural heat moments and holidays to assess which ones make sense for your brand to align with. Twitter can be a part of a larger editorial strategy. You can adapt and syndicate existing content from your blog or website to fit into the Twitter format and then drive traffic back to your site. Use Twitter to increase repetition if your followers are also your customers and readers. Once a conversation starts around your content, you can ask for feedback or ideas about topics you're writing about and then use this knowledge to enrich your editorial strategy outside of Twitter. It's important to define when you tweet and how often in order to keep users interested. Too many tweets will be seen as spam, but too little will not allow your brand to be seen. Finding the balance and relevance of your content at different times of the day is key to keeping your audience engaged. So earlier we talked a little bit about trolls, which means that unfortunately social media is not always a safe space. Sometimes users will try to bait brands and people into negative conversations, and this behavior is known as trolling. If you experience a Twitter troll, here are the recommended actions. Report the abuse immediately. Never answer more than it's necessary and beyond your brand's voice. As you can see in this example on the slide, the Washington Post decided to respond in a humorous way while still exposing the troll's inappropriate behavior. And if the troll's comments are customer service related, relegate the exchange to DM or email. And lastly, avoid removing all inconvenient tweets and stay authentic.